Raz.
A ještě to nastaví na stream.
Raz.
Okay.
Halo. Woo! Hey guys, has everyone taken their voting devices? If so, you should be already signed at Kuba's place. If not, please go to Kuba. It's for all the active members. Whoa. Do you know that somebody's going to be late? welcome to our General Assembly. I am really happy that I can see so many of your lovely faces here today. We are really sorry for the delay we have so far. So let's get quickly to our long agenda. I'm sorry, technical issues. Okay, so you already know me from the meetings, so this is nothing unusual. And it works, nice. So here's the agenda for today. You had the opportunity to see it before. And as you can see, we are supposed to be closing at 10. So let's get to it so that we can enjoy the evening as well. So first, I would like to welcome our board, which is sitting here in front. I believe that all of you already know these lovely people, the board of 2022, and all of these people have prepared today's General Assembly. So, first, we need to do some voting. There's going to be lots of votings today, and it is quite fun. So, because you're the ones that are deciding about everything going on in our section, actually. So, our first type of voting system is a public voting. So, that means that you already got our voting devices. They are these beautiful baby Eugenes in all shapes and sizes. So, some of you have 2 of them. That means that you have a delegated vote, and when there is a voting, you are raising both of your hands with these 2 lovely Eugenes. You are raising the voting devices when you agree with the statement. So, when you agree, you raise your hand. You can only vote once, and there are always options yes, no, or abstain. Okay, not always, but with the important votings. So yeah, that is basically it. Then there is going to be a second type of voting, which we will explain later. So this is how it works, okay? Raise your hand. And now we will do a quorum check. So we need to check who is here so that we know that we are able to vote today, actually. So, Mariana Brajdič here, Tereza Horčicová, Barča Králíčková, to rychle, Vali Ulíková, Jakub Jaroščák, Sára Musilová, Adela Terezie Hurtová, Alex Sisková, je tu, nemám tu 5, proč to nemám 5? Chybí mi 5. Alžběta Fromerová, Erika Bajosová, není, Evča, Lucka Boděšiková, Tomáš Sasínek, Lucka Lichvárová, Alexi, Matěj Škop, here, Lukáš Trampata, není, Edo Stankovič, Sonja Haulíková, Alp, Janko Števkovič, Anet Skálová, Paťa Felešová, Káťa Pechancová, Verča Batelková, Petr Šípoš, Pája Kubátová, Julia, Lorena, Nelča Táhalová, Amira, Nelča Pospěchová, to je Sára, jo. Juraj, Eliška Půlhoná, ano. Svěťa není, Akari, and Kate není. Okay, thank you for a quick quorum check. So for the next time, when there is going to be really voting, when we will count all of you, please raise your hands very high up in the air so that we can count you properly. So, thank you. And the next one is, so at the beginning, I want you to play a game with me. So, so the game is, you should fill in the gap. I would, the gap, Eugene. The first option is marry, second option is kill, and C option is kiss. So, who would marry Eugene? Teraz go počítáme. Raise it up, like this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ještě Edo. Who would kill Eugene? One vote. And who would kiss Eugene? Okay. 22. Okay, once again. Good job. So, give us a second. So, there were 9 votes for yes, 1 vote for no. Aha, počkej. Počkej. Dvakrát jsem hlasovala. Okay, so for the first option, marry, there were 9 votes. For the second option, kill, there was 1 vote. And for the C option, kiss, there were 22 votes. No, je to 32. Chybí nám někdo? No to je v pohodě. This is... Okay, what is for certain is we are very sorry. Very sorry. Maybe 33. Okay, guys, so I know that you like this game, so we'll play it once again. So, ano, mělo by mít, doufám. Okay, so hopefully for the last time we have just practiced it. So, for the first option, marry. Okay, so there is 10 votes for marry. For kill, how many options? Still 1. Too brave. Okay, too brave people. And for the third option, kiss, how many people want to kiss Eugene? Mám taky. And that means that quorum was reached. Good job! Okay, so... já můžu dál. Oh my God. Okay. Good job, guys. Thank you for your patience. And hopefully during today it will get just better. After this it will get just better, I promise. So now is the important part of voting. So first we need to vote about the language of today's assembly. So we are proposing to hold this General Assembly in English, as I already started speaking in English, and the reason is because we have quite a few international members here who do not understand Czech or Slovak language. So, do you approve English as the official language of General Assembly from ESN Munich Brno 2022? Who is for yes? Ne, musí se to spočítat. Okay, please raise your hands again. Who is for no? And who abstains? Thank you. So this means that not yet. So that means that English was elected as. Oh my God. Okay. So this means that English was elected as the language of today's General Assembly. So good job, and let's move further on. So the second task is to approve Daniel Romanovsky and Petra Papoláková as our electoral committee. So please stand up, lovely electoral committee. So we have Daniela Romanovsky as the vice president from ESN VUT and Petra Papoláková as the president of ESN CZ. So we have a very privileged electoral committee. So I believe that you have no problem with it. So we can get to the voting. So who approves Dan and Petya as our electoral committee? So who is for yes? Já mám 34, ale to nevadí. Ne, v pohodě. So our electoral committee was approved. Thank you. And now I would like to pass the word to lovely Verča Chilíková, who is cooperating with us for the Center of International Cooperation.
So, hello everyone. I'm here on behalf of the Center for International Cooperation. I work there as Erasmus coordinator, for those who do not know me yet. And I was asked to speak here today, and I will be real quick. And I would like to thank you, all of you, for your hard work and for your support towards us and international students. Without your help, we wouldn't be able to organize events for international students because you give us real support and we really appreciate this. And it was a real pleasure to cooperate with Mariana and Teresa because I was in touch with them during the semester. And also I know that all of you work really hard and we really appreciate this. And we just look forward to starting the cooperation with the new board that will be elected today. So that's it.
Thank you very much for very kind words. So as you already know, we have a really tight cooperation with International Office, so we are really important for each other. And now we would like to start with our annual report. For this, I would like to invite the whole board to come and join me here. Musím být rychlý, nevykecávat se, jo? Okay, so at the beginning of our mandate as the board of 2022, we had a vision. And this vision was to build such a lovely place for all of us, for the international students and for the local members. So at the beginning of our mandate, we already had our section as a very well built brick house, which had everything it needed. However, we wanted to improve it a little bit and make it an innovative home. So there were a few goals that we set for ourselves. And as you can see, we worked really hard on having a nice facade. That means to work on our presentation, on social media, and these kind of things. Then we really wanted our home to be sustainable. So to make everything we do stay in the section, and also from a sustainability point of view, we really wanted all the flowers to bloom in our house, and also, as you can see, lovely animals passing by to stay there. Um, Another really important point was that we want to welcome everyone who enters our door with a warm big hug, and also that we still want to be a very social section which has lots of good relationships with their neighbors and also friends who are a little bit further away. So this was a little bit metaphoric, maybe, and you're maybe not really sure what I'm talking about actually, and you're like, okay, where am I? However, this is a metaphor with which we started our action plan, which we've already presented, and it's a quite long document where we set everything we wanted to do during the mandate. So now we will present our annual report partially as a report of our action plan, but also partially as a report of all events and activities that we've done throughout the semester. So stay tuned because you will see lots of pictures of yourselves. Oops.
So one of our goals was to implement causes of ESN more into our events and in general in our section. I think we managed it well. In some parts, we could have been better in the other parts, but I just wanted to sum up the things that actually happened. So one of them was Erasmus in schools. If you want to know maybe more, you can ask Sonia, who participated. We usually do this project together with Brno United, and I think this project is really worth to keep doing because not only that we are presenting Erasmus and ESN to a younger generation, but we are inspiring them to just go out from their comfort zone and travel and meet other people, other culture, and kind of showing them that it's not so hard and not so scary as they might think. One other goal was to implement the sustainability more, which we did again during the whole semester. We tried to, but we started it during the orientation week, which was kind of a change. So we wanted to teach our new coming Erasmus students from the whole beginning to just keep in mind that we don't really want to use one-time plastics and one-time dishes and forks, knives. And during the orientation week, we managed it. And actually, if we compared the trash and rubbish from the previous years, it was really a difference. So I think it's really worth it to keep doing that. And then the pictures you can see that are not only from the international dinner, from orientation week, but also from the country presentations. You can ask Lucka about that. I don't know where she's sitting. There, yeah. And I think that went well too. Yes. And then for the causes events themselves, you can ask Tom about it. And we did some, they are usually smaller events, but I think, again, it's really worth to keep doing that because they have impact. And actually with the mindfulness, we won the ESN Czech Republic second prize for it. So we are very proud that these projects are validated, and we are happy to do them because usually people that are attending these events, they are super happy because not only that they had fun and they enjoyed, but also they had a feeling that it had an impact. So that's our goal, and I think we managed it kind of well. And I think I'm passing the word to Edo now.
Thank you. Among other events we do is also educating our members, and okay, this is not refreshed. Okay, I'm really sorry. we organized 7 workshops. 2 beer makings, yes, 2 beer makings, mental health toolkit, first aid course. There was also, if I remember correctly, communications, Notion, and also 1 workshop for graphics. And there is 1 workshop also coming up soon for our Erasmus students. So stay tuned, and yeah. Also, as I mentioned, we do also things for our members. We have a few changes. Many of you already know because we attended, and I believe Jakub will tell you more what we have done for you. Yeah, I have 1 more slide. Okay, sorry. I will tell you about the alumni meeting. Sorry, I'm really stressed right now. I don't like presenting in front of many people. So, we happened to organize the alumni meeting, which happened in September. 5 alumnis attended. 2 of them are here. Welcome. And after we shared some nice time in our lovely office and had some nostalgic times, we went for bowling when we enjoyed the game, some of us. And now is the time to hand over the word to Jakub.
Okay, so also during the whole semester, we also made a lot of effort on recruiting new members for our section. I'm really proud to say that a lot of people took part in that. HR wasn't the only one doing it, but it was really the effort of the whole section, and not only board members, but lots of active members helped as well. These are just some events that we presented ourselves. We did a lot of recruitment events in cooperation with our university. We went to present at the freshman events at Faculty of Economics. We went to Předškolovák, Seznamovák, to Jarmark Spolku. We also attended Majales, for example, so that was really nice. We had a tent, and we had a tent. And a lot of merch, and we had really positive feedback from our members, and I'm really proud to say that there were many people who came to me as an HR during the semester saying that they saw us at this and this event, and they thought that we were cute and cool, so they wanted to join. So I would say that it was quite successful. At the beginning of this semester, we also had this vision that we should make ESN meetings and general environment in ESN very accessible and socially inclusive. So we started the policy of conscious use of English to make all our international members feel as welcome as possible, because so we started to hold all our meetings and communication in English, and we also put a lot of emphasis on using English as a language also in more informal environment during hangouts and stuff like that, so that people feel included and don't feel pressured out of the circle just because they don't understand. And we also had a feedback from our international members that they really appreciated it during team buildings or during just general meetings. So I would say we also were quite successful in this regard. And we also, upon the experience from COVID, we decided to hold all our meetings hybrid, which means that people were able to join them online, and quite a lot of people joined it online as well, sometimes more, sometimes less, but we are really glad they had this opportunity. And also in HR agenda, we decided to make some changes in our body guide, for example. So for example, we threw out the old body guide that was used in the last semester because we found it very impractical, and it was really hard to edit because it was very graphic. So we replaced it with a more simpler document that is available to all the members on HR disk, and it's much easier to adopt. So we really like it, especially HR department. Uh, and also we introduced reform to buddy meetings. We removed some information that was mainly aimed at active members, and we focused them more on just buddy stuff. And we introduced interviews for new active members to really get them to know all the possibilities that ESN offers. So we also had quite a lot of them, especially this semester, since we started to practice the new membership structure. We also had 3 big team buildings during this academic year. We had Tropic Island team building in the summer in our section. We had criminal mystery team building in the autumn, and we also had Brno United team building in the spring semester. So we also got really positive feedback on them. We thank OC members who are in attendance. And we also had team building for the board, brainstorming board building in the summer in Slovakia, where we worked really hard to make all the changes in ESN and to really get all the work done during the summer, and also had some great time. So that's that. Working really hard. Also, as you all know, because you are here, we enacted new statutes this semester, and one of the major changes in the statutes was our membership reform. We changed the structure of membership, so right now we have several levels of membership in our organization. We have ordinary members, which are all our members who just signed up in Fiesta. Then we have active members, who are people who really contribute to the running of our section and really make a lot of difference, and they can apply for it upon fulfilling certain criteria. Then, as Edo mentioned to you, we have alumni membership that you can apply for after your active membership is over. And then we also introduced the concept of honorary membership upon invitation. There is this cute graphics that we presented during semester to members to help them better understand the process of becoming active members. So I believe that you all already know it since you applied. And yeah, and I now pass the word to Marianka, and she will introduce the new statutes.
Okay, so we already had one general assembly about replacing the old, really complicated statutes, which were also a little bit unrightful, let's say. So at the moment we have simple, clear new statutes which were consulted with an experienced lawyer who is Mrs. Spachilova, and even though she's not here, we would like to thank her very much for all the help that she did. It's also very important to mention that we did this big change in cooperation with the audit committee, so it was kind of bigger cooperation. And at the moment, the General Assembly, so that means all of you voting today, is the executive body. Before it was a little bit more complicated, and these statutes were approved on the 11th. Okay, there's a wrong date. 11th of November 2022. So now I would like to pass the word.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna say a bit more about cooperation because there's actually a plethora to say about it. Okay, so first thing that we are really proud of is the Brno United cooperation. For those of you who don't know, Brno United is ESN sections in Brno working together. That means VUT, Mendelu, and us. And we organize events together. Like the bigger ones or even the smaller ones. More is gonna be said later. Then we also have regular Brno United meetings, and we also represent Brno at international or national events. A little bit more about cooperation with ESN Czech Republic. So we go to like every national assembly that is. Actually organize some of them. As for NA 2022, we were quite a lot of us were part of National OC. That means it was made up of people from different sections. Together with Brno United, we are organizing Christmas team building here in Brno. And we also participate at community meetings. This was BF Czech community meeting, and also our members went to PVP, or like presidents and vice presidents meeting. Except for that, we cooperated with ESN Olomouc and ESN CU Prague. We organized city tour for them, and actually Olomouc came to our ball. And the one that has to have its separate slide is Na Brno Dobrý, which was National Assembly organized here. It was like really huge event, and it was amazing. I think it doesn't need more words, because there was a lot of except for that, we have cooperation. We cooperated with other sections that are not from the Czech Republic nor Brno. So we with Utrecht. This is picture from EGM in Borto, and we had 2 calls with Poznań, who one in autumn and one in spring semester. And also we actually have their mascot here together with us now. And last but not least, we also cooperate with other students club at Monet. So we had workshop with Klub Investoru about financial literacy. And also they attended some of our events, and we also made some other things together. And now I'm gonna give the mic to Sarah.
And I will keep it short and sweet because my legs hurt so much. Okay, so when it comes to promotion, one of our goals was to create a coherent or cohesive visual identity and to aim our Instagram account more towards Erasmus students. So you can judge for yourself how we succeeded. Then our goal was to make our blog alive again. In the first semester, we have posted articles once a week, and the second semester every 2 weeks. And there have been 13 articles in total. And you can see the most popular one there. So something that we wanted to focus on was LinkedIn, TikTok, and, well, Facebook. So with LinkedIn, we are aiming to create monthly overviews of what we did. Then with TikTok, it's finally up, so please follow it. And with Facebook, we still use it to keep track of our events. And then we also introduced new communication channels for the members. So the active members Facebook group moved to Slack. The messenger chats have moved to Telegram, and the only survivor at Facebook is still the buddy group. And also everyone's favorite, ESN Munidrviki, a platform for us to be more funky. And now I'm going to give the word to Edo.
So we also introduce Google Calendar into our workflow. We keep all of our events as a board there to be nicely organized and to see everybody's schedules. Also, other than that, we use it for both Erasmus and active members events. Erasmus have their own calendar, and active members, we shared with them all of our members meeting, team buildings, and other active members related events. If you are not on there, let me know. Also, we updated our cookbooks to be up to date and introduced new, nicely readable Google Forms that generates nice PDFs, so they are easier to read, and the people can extract more important, like the most important information from them nicely.
Okay, this is my part. So I will quickly introduce you all the events, but I think that's the thing you know the most because you see the photos and you attend them. So first of all, there are some variety of events we did. So you can see the weekly events like quiz nights, country presentations, and karaoke's. So that's it, and that's also the board games. And then this is the what? Ah, okay. But I didn't do that. So we have it in Czech. I don't know why. So we this is our events calendar for spring and autumn. And now I'm really confused. I'm sorry. Yeah, we organized two orientations weeks this year. The first one was partly online, and it was a little bit different because of the COVID restrictions. But I said partly. The presentation was online. But the events like the admissions and everything were in person, but we had some COVID restrictions. But we survived and it was nice as well. And this semester we did the really big orientation week for everyone. And I hope you all participated. We try to implement the responsible party concept in all our events. So we provide free water and even fruits because fruit party. But in general, we want to provide free water and food so nobody gets to waste it and everything. So everybody is responsible. And we organize a lot of culture events thanks to Katja, our culture coordinator. So we did a culture hike to Buchlov at Buchlovice, you can see on the photo. Also, there were visits to Villa Tugendhat, theater visit to Sleeping Beauty, and we have a Christmas movie night this Friday. I don't know where are the photos. Oh, wow. Who did it? Okay, so we did a lot of sports events thanks to Carlos. He's not here, but I want to give him here. No, he's not here. I want to give him big thanks because he organized a lot of events like Erasmus Cup with Brno United, so volleyball and football, and also bachata lessons and stretching with Julia. So thank you so much. And also we did some acroyoga and mindfulness. Tereska already told about that a little bit, so we can see the photos. This is from volleyball, this is from bachata, and this is from stretching. Yay. As already Barcha said, we do a lot of Brno United events. So here are the photos from the tram party and from the International Students' Ball. So you can see your lovely faces. And I think the cooperation went really well. We organized a lot of big events and they were quite a success. So I'm happy about that. And I'm happy to organize, to see more of them organized. And that's for Marenka.
Also this year we celebrated 35th anniversary of Erasmus Plus project, so we decided to celebrate it in a big style. So we organized a Erasmus festival again together with Brno United, and if there was no rain it would be a perfect event. This way it was only an amazing event. I hope some of you have attended it and really enjoyed it. Yeah, there was dancing. And lots of fun people. So now is the part. We have already mentioned that we were not doing all of these things alone. As you saw, there were so many things going on and we are very, very proud of all of them. But we would also really like to thank all of you active members who are also here today, but also our supporters and coordinators who have helped us even more. Here you can see supporters and coordinators from the last semester. And here are the supporters from this semester. So only Tom is here. And here is the events team, which was really, really amazing. Thank you for all of the events, which went really great. And here is the communication team and also Erasmus in Schools coordinators and a team building coordinator. So one last time, thank you all for all the work you did this semester or the whole year, and we hope that you enjoyed it and that you are going to continue to do amazing things with us. So now it's the time for the audit committee. And yes, I'm sorry. I just kind of, because it's a mess today a little bit, as you saw, I kind of forgot to introduce us at the beginning. So Tereska is our vice president, Batcha is our treasurer, Vali is our events manager, Kuba is HR, Sara is communication manager, and Edo is our secretary. You can go and sit down. And here we have our lovely audit committee, Adja Hurtava, Patja Feleshova, and Kate Richterova.
Okay. So hello everyone. We prepared a very short report by the audit committee. I'm not sure if all of you know what we're actually doing because we're mostly cooperating with the board, but at the same time it says that there were not really big problems because you didn't have to approach us. As you can see from this, it is not really a regular work, but rather a work that is like happening on specific occasions, let's say. What is, however, regular during the year are the reports that we are getting from the board. One is connected to the finance and one is connected to the activities. So we were checking those during the semester and commenting them to the board. And we were also helping with the statutes. So this was almost a year-long project because we were working on it from time to time in cooperation with the board, in cooperation with the Mrs. Spachilova, who was the lawyer. So as you saw before, they were already approved. And right now we're also working on the English translation, plus on the standing orders, which are almost done. They are now waiting for the approval. So soon you will get those as well.
Okay, now for the more as needed part of our position. So at the beginning of the year, we were helping the new board to prepare their action plan and provided some feedback. We hope we were helpful. And then throughout the year, the board consulted us when they had some question, problems, they just needed another opinion. We weren't needed really that much, they were doing good work.
Yeah, and throughout the year, there are no major obstacles, nothing caught fire significantly. The only thing that we would like to mention are the minutes, which we requested many times, but we did not receive them on a regular basis as it should be. But besides that, as I said, no major fire, everything went smoothly.
That's it from us.
I need technical support. Okay, so now I'm gonna tell you a bit more about our financial state, let's say. But it's not the real state of this year yet because the December is not over yet, so the numbers might differ somehow. It's just approximately how it could look like. Like we have money from Center of International Cooperation. Then there are member fees, which include mostly the ESN cards that Erasmus students buy. In trips and cultures, there's also included country presentations. So both in the expenses and incomes, it's this. Social Erasmus is it's the money we get from the secondhand shop, which is during orientation week, and then we use those money for charity. and other is basically team buildings and some other money. A bit more about why the promo material expenses is so high. Because we bought a lot of promo materials this semester. It was like 1,000 of that. So that's why it's so high number. But overall, we should be in plus, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And the budget proposal for next year is this one. It's pretty similar to this year, but there are some numbers differ because, for example, we organized Nabanodobri, but we are not gonna organize that National Assembly this year, so it's not included there. Um, yeah, I think the parties is the ones you already know. It's Student Party, Vote Party. There's also Ball. Yeah, and might be some event that's gonna be for the celebration of our section's 20 years, and that's probably all from me.
Thank you very much. And now again, it's time for you to vote. So again, it's going to be a public vote, which we already practiced, and we will again practice our counting because we are great at it. So we need, at first, we need to approve our annual report. So that means the part that as the whole board we presented what we did throughout the whole year. We need you to approve it or not approve it. So do you approve annual report of 2022? Who votes for yes? I have 32. Janko, I saw you. I have 33. Great. Who votes for no? Who votes for abstain? Thank you. That means that annual report for 2022 has been approved. Thank you. Now we need to approve the financial report. So the first part that Batcha presented. So do you approve financial report 2022? Who votes for yes? I have 33. Great. Who votes for no? Who votes for abstain? Amazing. That means that with 33 votes, financial report 2022 has been approved. Woohoo! The third voting, we also need to approve the budget proposal for 2023. So, who votes for yes? Okay, we are getting the hang of this. Thank you. Okay, so who votes for no? Who votes for abstain? Amazing. That means that the budget proposal 2023 was approved. Woohoo! And now is the time for the electoral committee to come and join me. Give them a round of applause.
We're approved. Is it working? Yeah. I can't hear myself. I don't know why. So we're approved electoral committee. Here's the Petya. Marianka already mentioned her. She's the president of ESNCZ. And I'm done. I'm from the VUT. That's all you need to know. And we have the system. Like we are in charge of the voting, secret voting. And what's the secret voting? You'll get the envelope with the vote, and you will take that vote and circle just one option. Please circle just one. If you circle 2 or 3, it's not valid. I guess it's. Oh, no. I hope that the laser is working, but I can't get the hang of it, so it's okay. Just the first option, who circled yes and abstain, it's you cannot do that. Okay, everything's clear? Nice. So, you have 3 options. Choose the yes, no, or abstain. I will go preferably for yes, but it's on your option. And want to use something to add, Petya?
Yeah, just one thing. Use the circles, not the crosses. Okay, so use the circle on the one that you agree with. That's it.
Okay, so that's everything from us, and
one more thing, we will have 2 rounds of the secret votings. So firstly, we will vote for the president, then we will have a break, and then we will give you the envelopes one more time, and you will have the rest of the board and also the audit committee. Oh yeah, and you have to vote for 3 audit committee members for them to be approved as a whole.
So this should be everything for now.
Thank you very much for clearance. And now I would like to welcome our candidate for a position of president, which is Valeria Ulíková. Welcome on stage.
Okay, hello everybody. You already know me. I talked here before. So hello, I'm Valerie. And I'm candidating for the position of president. And this thing doesn't work at all. Please. Okay, so here am I. Can you vote for me, please? No, I have. No. So something about me. No. Now you see everything. That's a spoiler. Close your eyes, please. Close your eyes. You don't. Okay, there's nothing fun enough. It's okay. I hope that this doesn't count for my 8 minutes. It works. Thank you. So, about me. I study environmental studies. I'm in my 3rd year of bachelor, so I will hopefully finish bachelor this spring. And that means also that I love nature and everything environmental, and it's really important for me. Also, I like to try new things, work on interesting projects like Humbug Team, which is it's not the group of people on the photo, but it's part of it. And this is the team I was part of in Albatros Media, so surrounded by books, and I did a lot of communication stuff there, like reels and streams and everything. And also I work on Rock for People and other many amazing projects, and I learned a lot from them. Also, I'm a communication assistant in a non-profit organization called DFE, Duke of Edinburgh, and this is the organization that focuses on non-formal education for young people. So even in my work, I'm really connected to volunteering and to motivating young people to do something interesting and something good for them. I love to discover new places, travel, and I think that's all of us have in common, that we like to travel and discover new places. I love to do it with my friends, but also alone. Everything has something interesting.
I love hugs. That's really important for me. I'm really touchy person, so I hope that you like hugs. And also, I love cooking. That's my type. Like when I want to relax, I cook, and I love to cook for my friends and for everybody. So if you want dinner, just call me. Who am I in general? So I'm really creative. Since I was little, like you can see, I did a lot of art, music, dancing, everything. And I think about myself that I'm also really creative by thinking. So I always have new ideas. I try to come up with innovative things, and that's the my quality I really like about myself. Also, I'm responsible. When I say that I will do something, I will do that if I don't forget it, but most of the time I will do that and I will make sure that everything works well. I'm good at presenting, I hope. That was the part, like I was like, I want to say that I'm good at presenting, but you can see me if I'm good at presenting. But I like to speak in front of people. I like to present good and meaningful projects. So that's why I'm here. Also, I'm good at stress and time management. If something doesn't work out, I don't panic. And I just think about the best solution that's possible in the situation and try to make the best of it. And also I'm good in time management. I do a lot of things, but I always try to see how much time it takes and how much energy it takes, so I can be responsible and do everything I promised. I'm social media enthusiastic. As I already stated, I work in communication. I worked in a communication and marketing team in Albatros Media, so social media are part of me, and maybe I'm a little bit addicted, but I also like to make meaningful things and present them. So I also have my own Instagram account focused on books and focused on like motivating others to reading interesting things. So that's why I have it here. It's not that I'm only addicted. I do meaningful stuff there as well. I'm flexible. That's really connected to the good stress management. If there is need to adapt, when there is need to change things to make it better, I'm available to do that. And I'm communicative, as you can see, and also I hope that when you talk to me that you can see that I really like to talk to people and I really like to listen to them and see what they think about things. My ESN journey. So I joined in September 2021 and I tried to help with many events, get to know the ESN members and the structure. I helped, for example, at the Brno United Quiz Night. Then, year ago, I was elected as an events manager, and as I said in my candidacy, I think it was the second best thing in my life I did. The first one was that I moved to Brno, so it was a really nice thing to me. I organized many events. I won't talk about it because you already saw it in the annual report. I attended EGM in Porto, so I got to know a little bit more about the international level, and I really understood the impact we have on young people, and it motivated me more. You can see here on the photo, you can see the part of the Czech delegation and Munich delegation with the international board. I was also part of the OCF na Brno Dobrý. We already talked about that as well. And you can see I'm always with the mic. And it was really nice. I got to know a lot of members from ESN Czech Republic, but also I got to work with many great members from ESN Brno United. It was the really nice opportunity. I attended NA 2022 and President Vice President Community meeting. You can see that I tried to educate myself before I candidated for the president, so I'm really trying to be good with that. And I'm a part of an amazing board. You can see that everybody is really excited about being in a board. We have this weird tradition to making board photos, but we are not that bored. But I love the photos and I love my board and I loved cooperating with them, and I got to see that like they are the reason why I want to continue with this, because I think it's the best year I had. So here you can see all my ESN history. And something about my goals, what I want to do as a president. First of all, we talked about the statutes and active membership system, so I want to make sure that everything works smoothly and the real well-established system will be like practice we all know and we all are used to. I want to focus on quality and not quantity. This was the point I got in my mind, like in the last 6 months, maybe, that I don't want to be an overachiever and just do the things for the sake of doing so much things, but I want to really prioritize what's important for us and what's important for the section and for the whole network, and really see what we are able to do. So nobody's burned out, nobody feels that it's too much, but also I want to make progress. I want to do new things, but really think about the impact it has on us and on the network. I want to cooperate with the new board. I want to be a good leader. I want to create a safe and motivating space. I will expect and responsibility, but also be responsible myself. And I want us to be a great team that works on every aspect of our section. And I want to be connected to the network, to the national level and international level. I want to participate in national and international events, show that our section is working, and try to learn new things from the other sections and try to teach others. And maybe attend the most events we can and really show that we are interested in that. I want to cooperate with our stakeholders, with the Center of International Cooperation of MUNI, because our cooperation, as we already stated many times, works really well, and I want to make sure that it works really well again and again, and think about the things how we can improve it. I want to work and profit from also the support from DZS. Thank you, Petja. From DZS, and really use it for the causes, events, and everything. Who doesn't know, DZS is the, I know how is it in English, I'm sorry, but it's the the national agency for the international education, something like this. I don't remember the real name, it's long, but they give us money for the events, and we have to report it really well, so I will make sure that we do it as well. And I also want to focus on the commercial partners and make strong partnerships with impactful people, organizations and activities here in Brno. And the last part is I want to celebrate ESN MUNI Brno 20 years anniversary, because as Barcia already said, next year our section is celebrating 20 years, and I want to make sure that this celebration will be great and that we will connect with the alumni and also with the new active members and make the whole community together and do something nice. And that's everything from me. I'm looking forward for your questions, and thank you.
So now is the time for the question round. Yes, thank you. So this is going to work like this. We have 12 minutes to ask Vali any questions we want, to make sure that we know how to vote afterwards, whether we feel like she's the right candidate. So if you would like to ask a question, then raise your hand. I will look at you and write you down on a speakers list. And when it's your turn, I will ask you to speak and then ask your question. So, any first questions? Okay, I can start this off. Okay, so Petja is the next one. I have a question. What is your biggest ambition in the position of president?
Okay, my biggest ambition and goal is to make sure that our section works smoothly in most of every aspect possible, and make sure that everybody enjoys being in the section, members, and also the international students coming here and profiting of our activity.
Thank you for the answer. Petja? Oh, shit.
Okay. Petja, ESN CZ. Um, you were talking in your presentation with like the connection of with the network at the national and international level, and I would like to ask you if you see some advantages of being a part of the network and to attend these national international events. I know you want to go, but how would you maybe motivate your members to attend them? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question. So the biggest thing I see in that is that we can learn from each other, that I can learn from others and our section can teach others as well. And I would motivate others to go because they can connect with the community and also they can learn a lot of things. Every event has great workshops that learn you a lot. For example, in the last NA 2022, I really enjoyed the stakeholder workshop that really showed me how to work on partnerships. And also, I can see that being a part of a network can give us some stability, and we can be sure that there are some rules that are like up to us. I don't know how to explain it in English, I'm sorry. And they can like oversee us, and we can be sure that if we don't know something and we don't know how to establish something in our section, we can always look up and see how it works somewhere else.
Question, where within our section do you see the most room for improvement, and how do you, as the future president, plan to act on it?
I have to think about it for a bit, I'm sorry. I think that for me right now, the biggest like place for like space for improvement is in the partnership part, maybe more of the partnership, like a commercial partnership, because we are trying to have some sponsors or some kind of deals with the commercial partners here in Brno, but most of them works just only on the like discount for our Erasmus students on ESN card, which is a great way because we all know how ESN card can be good for us. But also I want to focus on making more meaningful partnerships that can create like maybe some interesting space we can use for our events or some services we need for our section, and we can work on different bases than just discount for promotion.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for your candidacy. Just a simple question. Is there something which you would like to do totally different from the previous presidents? And how are you trying to, how will, if you are elected, try to focus on the transition?
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. I can see the 3 previous presidents looking at me. I think I would need a lot of time to think about it. So I will start with the second question and think about it. So I want to focus on transition a lot because for now if we got elected, we are not a full board. So we can see that sometimes the knowledge transfer has to be more think through so we can transfer it later. But also we already are thinking a lot about this transition that will be happening, and Marianka is preparing a whole weekend for transition, and I really love the idea that we have really like big part of our time to really transition well. So I think if it works well, I want to do it again. So that's about the transition. And about the present, I don't have for now like one thing that I would say I would do total different. Maybe I want to really, like, I think everybody says that, but I want to really focus on delegating the work and don't be always on, okay, nobody can do it. Okay, I will do that. I don't want to do this all the time. I want to really focus on delegating the work and giving the people chance to learn.
Any other questions? I have one question, and any other ones? So I will ask, and if there are no questions afterwards, I will close the speakers list. So my question is, so what do you think is the biggest advantage and disadvantage that you're candidating as a second year. So that means that you have the experience of an events manager. So what will it give it to you? But also, what do you think it's not the best?
Okay, so first of all, I will talk about it more like board in general. So when I'm coordinating next year, I can see that I know how the board can work. I don't want to say that it has to work the same way, but I can see how what we learned in the year and how we evolved. So that's like working in the team is more well known for me, and also the connection to the previous board can give me more possibilities to ask them if I don't know anything or something, because we have bigger personal connection. And disadvantage about that is that I have some expectations because I already had one board and then I will have the second one, and there will be different, and it's really important to don't look at the people in the same way I looked before. And for the events manager, I think like making or preparing an activity or an event is important, or like it's useful in every agenda because it's connected to everything. But I'm afraid that I will look at everything as an event. That's the thing I want to do differently than the previous president. But like I think it learned me a lot about the time management and about organizing people. But I know that the work of the president is not that seen for others. So that could be really hard for me, that like I cannot say I made this, you can see that, because it's different. So I would I will say that.
Thank you for an answer. So are there any other questions? 3, 2, 1. So I'm closing the speakers list. Thank you, Vali, very much for a beautiful presentation and good answers. So now again is the voting time, but it will be different. So no raising hands. This time the electoral committee will give you the envelope. So in the envelope, because we have only one candidate, there is one paper where you can circle only one option. So you can vote either for yes, no, or abstain. So we can give it out, and after that, electoral committee is also going to pick it up, and after that, the break will follow. If you have delegated vote, get 2 envelopes, okay? When you are ready, please raise your hand, okay? So we can see. Yeah. Пропискava. Jo.
Samozřejmě Barča to má špatně.
Okay, have everyone put their little paper into the envelope and give it to the electoral committee? If so, they can go and count the votes. And in the meantime, we have a break. Or wow. However, we have a 10 minutes break. There's a timer, as you can see. So go outside, take some refreshments. There is small catering, so enjoy the break.
For the vegans, like the tray on the left is all vegan. So if you want something vegan, there are vegan baguettes.
Edo, když jim já teďka dám svůj počítač, aby to tam upravili, tak ty to můžeš Jo, a to byl ten právě ten problém s tím... Radši je lepší přeslat, že nevíš, tak si to a to bylo prostě... Ale ne, dalo by jinak takový Jo, jo, jo. Jo, já to zapiju.
Ano, ale chcem vybrať na svou kandidátku a nemáš kandidátku.
Just let me know when you know about the work, and if you decide to come, I will be expecting you, and I will be
Většinou třeba to a
To už v júni. To už v júni. Teraz do 18. decembra mám deadline a... No nie, vlastne tak nejak rozhodnuté, ale nebudú mi tie veľa, veľa som mal šancu.
Iba to video, ale tam budú.
Že také, že 30 je viac. Teraz po tebe som to chvála.
Za minútu prej, jo?
Asi už pomaly. Ideálne by som to do 4 chcel stihnúť. Ak nie, tak to nie.
Víš, že to bylo takové kouklisovaně. Tady každý, jakože každý dostává, uděláme asi tak 5 chyb,
Ještě by jich chtěla napsat.
takže nemá se čeho. Jako horší než začátek, prostě nic nemůže. Takže,
A já ještě myslím, že mám teplotu normálně. Teplotu?
Holky, dejte si vodičku.
Neber si sem napríklad, ono by to ideálne nemalo byť. Keď budeš písať
Hej, tady, když mluvíš.
ty už máš napísať.
No, ale s mikrofonem.
Ok.
Čiže si říkám,
Tady se hodí.
to fakt?
Ne, moje první by bylo ještě, a moje druhé. Když jako tak se tak.
To jsem neviděl, já jsem si tě na to TikTok, kde jsem myslel, že ještě
Tak to musíš bylo
Well, maybe in the next
tím? Je to tam na to?
Já už se teďka těším, až mi ten text celý smysl. Docela dobrý, akorát mi to zanejde.
Hola.
No, dang. Honestly, thank you for watching.
Can I sign someone?
Because only the začne soud. Dám tam prezentářku Ježiš. Já si potřebuji sadnout. Já si to vlastně miluje.
what I have experienced in ESN. And the third part will be why I think I am a good candidate for the role of treasurer. And the last part will be obviously the question round, where you can ask the questions. If you have any questions, I will kindly ask you to wait until the end, where we'll have the time for that. So let's start. A little bit about me. I am a second-year student at the Faculty of Economics and Administration. I study economics, and I also have a minor in mathematics, which I do not like to admit to because I'm trying to get rid of it very, very hard. And if I have to say it, it's like the biggest mistake so far in my life that I chose mathematics. So please do not ask me for any mathematical advices, because I will not be the person you should go to for mathematical advices. I grew up being a very curious child, and I really love learning new skills. I love learning new things every day. I try to challenge my mind every day. So far, I have learned how to crochet. I have made various things for my friends over the years because I love giving people meaningful gifts. For example, this is my friend who loves elephants. This was her 20th birthday. I made a plush toy in the shape of elephant for her. I'll show it to you just real quick. So that is the toy that I made for her 20th birthday, and obviously she loved it so much. And it took a very long time to make. I also made various different things, but it is just like very, very important to me to see that my friends know that I appreciate them and such. I also have learned how to knit. I know how to cook and bake. This is something I baked for a family friend's birthday. So I try to keep myself busy. I tried how to learn, I tried to learn how to play on the ukulele, but that was a failed attempt, because for ukulele you have to have short nails. I'm not a short nail girl, so that went to the trash really, really fast. And that's, I think, about my hobbies. I also am a very romantic person. I like going out to attend cultural events. I love buying flowers for myself and putting them in a vase and such things. So I think that's enough about me. So you'll stop thinking that I'm bragging. Let's move on into my ESN experience. So I joined ESN officially last semester in February. And last semester I helped at the country presentations, where I helped with my friend. But last semester I was not at all going to other events, so I did not know about ESN as a whole. I did not even know there were so many great events happening, except for the country presentations, of course. This semester, I decided that I would become the coordinator with my friend. And we have had very, very successful country presentations so far. We have a great diversity this semester, I must say. We have some countries that we have never had before. And we are really, really happy that there are so many Erasmus students who want to come and present, because there is a great demand for it. And so far we've always, most of the time, like until 2 weeks, other times we always had like 2 countries presenting at the same time, which is great. This semester I have helped at various events. I was helping at the festival, boat party, front party, anything you can think of. And a good indicator of that is when an Erasmus student approaches me and tells me like, oh my God, I see you everywhere. And I just tell them like, as you should, I go everywhere. So that's my experience so far. When I encountered ESN, I was not too impressed by it, to be honest, because I did not know too much about it. But once I got to know the community, I found out that it's such a tight-knit community of so many inspiring people to me, who really motivate me. Being around them
gives me such a great energy that I just wanted to be a part of that as well. I think that is so far what I've experienced. There was not much time to do anything else, but I hope to be able to join other events, maybe go to national assemblies as well in the future. This is the boat party. And now let's move on to why I think I'm a good candidate for treasurer. I have some experience in the financial sector. In my secondary grammar school, I was a part of this project, which was managed by a junior achievement program, and we, as a part of that program, we were, as students, were to make or like create a student company, which we did. It was a public limited company, so we had to sell stocks. We gained that money that way, and our company in particular sold edible cookie dough, and we sold them at various events. At our school, we went to vendor other events as well. We also sold them at the Christmas market in our local town, and I was a part of the finance department in that company. After a year, COVID hit, and some of our members left because they already graduated high school. So I had to step up and be the vice president of the finance department. And I was handling stuff like bookkeeping. I was filing the taxes. I was keeping track of how much other employees of our company were working, and I was giving them their wages, stuff like that. And I must say that the program that we were under was sorry, oh my god, such a spoiler, sorry about that. It was really particular about these financial things. We had to do them very, very carefully and file them. We even had a tax report that we had to go there in person and show them all our bookkeeping as well. So I think I have some experience in that department, and I was also the class treasurer. Sorry about that. I think that's my experience in the financial sector. I obviously don't know all of the financial processes, but I think I can learn because I am a very fast learner. So that is all for me. And I think you will vote for me. By the way, the cup that you see in the picture is not for sale or anything. I made it myself. So yeah, if you want some, then you can pitch in your idea to make something like that for the future. Thank you for your attention. And now we'll have the question round where you can ask me any questions that you have, and I will hope to be able to answer them.
Thank you for the introduction. So now I'm opening the speakers list. So anyone who would like to ask a question, please raise your hand. And I have a helper here, so I won't be running around, but Juraj will be running around with a microphone. So
I hope you will ask a question, because then I'm not useless.
Yeah, any at all?
Not sure.
Yeah, my question was like, what was your biggest obstacle at the country presentation, like hosting it, and how did you overcome it?
Thank you for your question. So I think the biggest obstacle for me was when we had two countries, and obviously both countries wanted to present themselves very, very carefully. They put so much effort into their presentations, and we had such limited time. The food tasting took very, very long, which I don't think there is anything to do can be done with that, because there are so many people attending the country presentation. So I think the length of the country presentations is what we had struggled with, because we also had to communicate that with the venue managers, but so far they have been very helpful in that. They haven't expressed any problem with us staying for such a long time. So that is, I think, the biggest obstacle for me. But we also overcame that. So that's it. Thank you. Any other questions, please?
Hi, thank you for your candidacy as well. I'm thinking about prices going higher, basically everywhere. So, do you think you are going to, if you're elected, if you're going to raise the prices for your events as well? And if yes, do you think that the Erasmus students will still attend the events this much as they are for now?
Thank you for such an amazing question, because I think inflation is affecting us all, and the rise of prices have affected us in everyday life as well. I think when it comes to that, I think that we can prevent, or like at least prevent to some extent, the prices going up by really, really thorough financial planning in advance and creating a budget that will allow the prices to stay the same. But obviously, since the situation is really unpredictable, we cannot see, or we cannot tell from now what will happen in 6 months or 3 months even. So I cannot guarantee that the prices won't go up. It will depend on our financial situation, and we'll see how the budget will be set and the financial planning for the next year. As for the Erasmus students, I think that the prices that we have for some various events that we have, for example, boat party and tram party, I think they're very well priced for the experience that the Erasmus students get. So the Erasmus students who are here for 1 semester only, for example, who want to experience the best experience they have in their life, or at least their student life, I think they will be willing to pay that price for the experience that they get. So I don't think we will have to like lower them to attract more Erasmus students, because I think we can still attract Erasmus students for particular events that we organize. Thank you so much. Any other questions?
Okay, I can see that Dana has one question. Are there any more questions? Okay, so Dana has one question, and I will have one question at the end, and I'm closing the speakers list. Okay?
Where is Dan?
Who's Dan? Raise your hand.
Okay, so I have the one question from our treasurer. What do you think about like discount on the tram party and bow party tickets in the advance of the event? Because we had like big problem with getting the registered Erasmus people in advance, like week in advance or something like that. Do you think that discount will change it or solve it?
So thank you for your question and raising such an important topic. I came across this topic at the Brno United meeting that I attended. And so I think it is an idea that I think we should look more into and find out if it works or not. I think it would never hurt to just like do a trial, you know, for one event and see how it goes, because sometimes Erasmus students, obviously they decide at the last moment, but if they have this opportunity or chance to buy it for cheaper, I think they might buy it like a few days in advance or a week in advance, so we as organizers know how many people will be attending. So I think it is definitely an idea that I'm willing to look into, and I think we should like try it out or think about it more, about the consequences that it could bring and the effect that it would have for Erasmus students as well as ourselves. Thank you for your question.
So I have one last question. So this was mentioned a bit in the online question round, but I think it is a very important question, so I will kind of repeat it. So if all of you are elected, there are going to be 3 vacant positions: vice president, secretary, and events manager. So in which area do you think you could help the most?
Thank you for your question. I think that I would fill out the role of the secretary the most because I love administrative work. I love doing paperwork, so I don't mind doing that, communicating with people as well. But I think that if needed, I will try to fulfill tasks in various areas because I think that I have the skill set for it. I'm very flexible and I can learn very, very fast. So I think that if my board members need it, I will obviously help wherever I can. I don't think that I will just choose like, hey, I want to do secretary and I will not do anything else, because I applied for the position of the treasurer in particular because it gives me the time flexibility to look into the other areas as well and try other things. So I think that I will look into all of them if given the chance.
So thank you for a very good answers and the presentation. So now we will have the next presentation for the position of HR manager. So we have again one candidate. So welcome, Sonia.
Okay, so hello everybody. I'm glad that you came today, and I will first say my name. I'm Sonia, and I'm candidating for the position of the HR manager of our ESN section. Okay, so I will start with some things about me, but I will not talk about all of them in particular. I will only talk about those that I think that were the most formative and maybe led up until this moment a little bit. So first things first, I will talk about my basketball. I have played semi-professionally basketball for 10 years. And even though you may think that sports and life are different areas, they are not, in my opinion, because it has taught me so much. It has taught me the basics of teamwork, and not only basics, but also basics of leadership. I have learned to be accepting of criticism, but I have also learned how to distinguish between criticism that is fueled by the current emotions and the constructive criticism, which I think is really important. And last but not least, I learned how to make decisions at the moment, like quick ones. And I became confident in making decisions, even though I know that, that I will make mistakes. I can try my best, but I know I will make mistakes. But in the end, at the end of the game or at the end of the season, it will all eventually play out according to my will throughout the season or whatever. And the second thing is it's like a public organization that is called Hlas Mesta. For those who don't speak Czech or Slovak, it's something like Voice of the Town. And it's an organization that is trying to raise awareness about the municipal politics. And we are organizing various events. So I got skilled in that. And also I got skilled in speaking in front of more people. Okay, so now this is like my favorite slide, to be honest, and I will talk about my motivation and my ESN journey. So, it all has started in the lovely city of Santander at the north of Spain by the Atlantic Ocean, where I spent my last semester on Erasmus. And we had this incredible ESN section that has helped me to gain a lot of experiences and I think most importantly friendships. And they really motivated me because I would love for our Erasmus students to feel the same connection towards us as I did feel towards them. And now I will maybe somehow metaphorically move on. So this is like a first love. It's like full of excitement, new experiences, butterflies are everywhere, but as first loves, it usually ends up in tears. These tears were happy. They weren't like sad or something. We knew we will part one day. But after that, after your first love, you are maybe trying to look for some deeper connection, something more meaningful, and maybe you are trying to approach it from a different angle. It wasn't supposed to be there, the pictures around, but it doesn't matter. So in September of this year, I decided to join our section, and I was thinking about it for a pretty long time because I suffered from something like post-Erasmus depression and so on and so on. And then during orientation week on our faculty, I met Sarah and Barcha, and I think they don't know it, but it was like a... Oh, I'm sorry. It was like a final push for me to join the ESN, so thank you girls for that. I think I have fallen in love with the community quite fast, and in my short time I have already done my Erasmus in Schools presentations, I have helped at the CARTI presentations, I have joined the partners team during organization of the International Students Ball, and after that I became its section head. And what I'm exceptionally proud of is that we organized with my fellow previous board members our first ever event done by our section that is aimed at the LGBTQ community. Okay, so why do I think I am the right candidate for the HR manager? This is not working as it was supposed to. Okay, so there were supposed to be many reasons, but I have already talked about them in one way or another in the previous point, so this was supposed to be just the sum up, but I can quickly go through that. So I have really big motivation to help other Erasmus students since I was helped in a really big amount. I see people as their most valuable asset, which means what would ESN be without people? Nothing. And what would ESN be without motivated people that want to work? It would be like nothing plus one. And in my opinion, nothing plus one equals nothing. So. Okay, so I am willing to work in the section on anything, and it also is kind of convenient right now when we are probably won't be having the full board. I am not afraid to speak and take responsibility, as I already spoken before. I have a teamwork spirit, leadership skills. I am accepting of criticism, and I am really, really motivated to to work on myself in various areas. So I hope to gain a lot of experience from this experience. Okay, moving to maybe the most important part of my presentations, and that are my goals. I will start with the left side, which is, let's say, kind of new things. I would love to collect feedback from our Erasmus students because I think if we want to improve and move forward, we have to collect feedback from the outside, not just from the inside. So I would love to cooperate in this with the Centrum for International Cooperation. I would love to, because they are already doing a questionnaire towards the Erasmus students, and maybe I would like to join forces and add like 2 or 3 questions regarding our section. I am not sure right now how would the questions look because I want to think more about it, since I know that people are not willing to answer, I don't know, open questions and so on and so on. Okay, that's it. Moving on to the next point, it's brainstorming and recruiting former MUNI Erasmus students. What I mean is that people that have been on Erasmus and are the students of our university are the most motivated people at the time. And they would make such a valuable listeners, or at least buddies, like buddies are listeners, but you know what you mean, either what I mean, either active members or either buddies, because they know somehow approximately how things work, and they are suffering from their post-Erasmus depression and so on and so on. So I would love to make an event at the start of every semester that will be called somehow like Continue Your Erasmus Life with ESN MUNI Brno or something like that. Okay, I'm not sure about that yet. And I would love to ask these people to come to see our section. I would explain them how can they get involved more, how can they continue with the Erasmus experience, and so on and so on. And also I would ask them what did they like about their section abroad, what they didn't like, and so on, so we can always gain some other ideas of how to improve. Regarding team buildings, well, this is not anything new. It's a long-going tradition, and I would like to continue with such a good work of my procedures and create one semestral team building for all of our members, but also some smaller ones, like just one day, one evening meetups for our members, maybe something for our board members, and so on, because I think that we don't really get the chance to get to know each other in the formal meeting that much. And I think maybe finding out our boundaries and creating more deeper relationships can lead to also having more respect within each other. And yeah. And last but not least, recruitment. Regarding recruitment itself, I only want to say that I would want to promote our ESN as much as so every our Erasmus students can have their own body, and we have a lot of members. And regarding, okay, we will have newbies, we will have buddies, and we want them to be more active, right? So how to do that? I would really love to encourage them, give them helping hand, and let them know that they are wanted and welcome from the day one. How to do that? First things first, I would like to have an attachment to every welcoming email where I would write like recent activities. I don't know, there are open spots for write for the rides for the next week. I'm sending you the Excel sheet, you can join. Second thing is, I'm thinking about creating active membership guide, as I've already mentioned in the question round. And last but not least, I would love to approach our members after, like new members after every meeting, because they usually don't join only at the start of the semester, and talk about them for a while, explain them everything, because I think face-to-face interaction is always better than just mails or anything. Okay, so that is all from me. I thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Oh wow! So now you can ask questions. So we have Janko, then Petja, then Fusky.
Who was first?
I actually have two questions. Can I ask them one after each other, or we want to? Okay. I will need to give a little bit of context to the first one. Some sections in the network do welcome interviews with each new body. In Masaryk University, usually this was not the case. Like the bodies were just explained everything in some body meeting, and only new thing was, as we saw in the report, that that this year there were interviews for active members. The reasoning for this was that Masaryk University usually has more new members than other smaller sections who do this. So I want to ask, what is your opinion on this, on if you would like to do it differently?
Okay, so starting up with the interviews for buddies, well, as you mentioned, Muni has a lot of buddies, so I don't think that would be feasible. Even though some of the sections I know, I think it's Mendelu or VUT, I'm not sure right now, but I think you have team for HR manager, VUT, right? No? Okay, but on your web page it is. On your web page there is written that you have that you have a buddy coordinator. So maybe if I was to like maybe widen up HR team, because as I know of now, HR doesn't really have a team, maybe someone could do it. But I don't think it's an agenda for one person. It would not be feasible, in my opinion. And regarding the active memberships interviews, it is something to think about, certainly. Because it's not that much of us, and I don't know, but on the other side, we have a questionnaire, so active member can't be anyone. So they already have to fulfill something, and there has to be something done by them in our section. So yeah, it's something to think about, but I'm not sure about that right now. Thank you for your question.
Okay, thank you. I will continue with my second question. One of the identified problems is that usually the bodies are not transitioning, or like not all of the bodies are transitioning to active members, and not many active members then become board members or some coordinators and supporters. And you already talked about some of your plans how to change this on your last slide. So this is more like if you want to add something more.
Okay, so regarding transitioning from bodies to active members, I think that's what I covered in my last slide. And then coming to the point of transitioning from active members to board positions. Well, it is one of my proposals to, if elected, my new board members to start looking for their, I don't know the word for that now. If someone is before you, it's your forerunner, and if someone is after you, it's your successor. Okay, so I would love to encourage them to look for their successor through the whole their mandate, you know. So we don't look for the new board members only the last month or so.
Thank you.
Hey. You mentioned that you started your ESN Mooney journey just in this September. So I think your like recruiting and onboarding experience is really fresh. Can you give us something like constructive feedback? It doesn't have to be criticism, but like just something you would point out from the view of a newbie that you can learn from.
Okay, so I think I will start with mentioning that all of my ideas that were mentioned here in my candidacy or in the question round, they were all coming out from my experience as a newbie, which is kind of new. So what I would appreciate when I was a newbie more was if somebody approached me a little more, which I want to do after every meeting, approach them. I think that's generally it. I think people are coming to our members meetings for the first time. They don't know anyone. They are not sure what they want to do. They kind of might get confused out of the presentations because it might be clear for the members that are here for a long time, but for those that come for the first meeting, they might be a little bit confused, and then they are afraid to ask, and so on, so on. So I would want to I want to give them chance to ask, but I want to start first. I want to approach them. So I think that's it.
Hello. Yeah. Hi. Thank you for your presentation as well. I have one question. As the war situation in Ukraine is still happening, do you think you would maybe give more attention to the students coming from there, or maybe if you have some active members or some other members, I don't know your new naming, I forgot if it's. So do you think that you would pay more attention to them, maybe give them more help, or like other opportunities than you pay attention to the normal students from other countries or students from Czech Republic? Thank you.
Okay, well, this is a hard question because, yeah, the situation in Ukraine is, of course, alarming, and I know some of the students are coming from Ukraine and so on, so on. So I would definitely like to give them helping hand if they want to talk about it. If they want to find people to talk about, not just me, I want to encourage our active members, board members, and so on, to be welcoming, to give a helping hand when needed. But I'm not thinking about some like specific event or situation, but I might think about it later. It's a good idea, but for now, I think this is what they need most. They want people to understand them, and they need the understanding. So I think that's it.
So are there any more questions? So I have Vali, Lorena, and me. Some more questions? Okay, so I will be the last one with 3 questions, and then so I'm closing the speakers list.
3 questions?
Hello, Sonia. Thank you for your candidacy. I have a question regarding the support structure and the coordinators. So this semester we started to, we found it, I don't know how to say it differently, like the team building coordinator, someone who would take care mostly of the team buildings happening one day, or like the smaller team buildings. But because of some external things, it didn't work out really well. So I wanted to ask you if you are thinking about someone who will be coordinator under your agenda, or you would prefer to do it like with all the active members. Do you feel? Yeah, that's my question.
Okay, so regarding this, I already started thinking about this when I checked your website and you have it there. I'm sorry. And Also, we are in a situation where the board will not be filled. So I think it would be a good idea to find people to take care of parts of the agenda that doesn't necessarily need to be taken care of by a board member. I think like delegating work is really important, especially in this situation. So yeah, and also I feel like since HR doesn't have a team, people interested in HR agenda can't really get as much close to what HR really does as they can in, I don't know, communication manager at agenda, events manager at agenda, and so on, so on. So yeah, I'm thinking about giving someone chance to be in a team of HR.
Okay, so my question is, right now there's an alarming amount of Erasmus students complaining about their bodies and they not keeping in touch with them and they never even saw them at the train station. So I've heard kind of maybe around 5 students complain about that this semester. And I was wondering if you've had thought of this situation that has been going on and you've have thought of like any ideas for this to stop or like something that will at least decrease the amount of students that feel neglected in a certain way. Thank you.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why this can occur is actually that we don't do interviews for buddies or any, like, we just recruit them and then we provide training for buddies and so on, so on. But we don't overlook them as much, and it's so many of them that we can't really overlook each of them. So since you mentioned this and there has been a question about interviews for buddies, it is also something interesting that I might think about, because like I didn't really know that the situation is, as you said, alarming. I didn't know about this, so yeah, thank you.
So I have a few questions, but they are just really interesting, not that hard. And it's like more brainstorming session than like anything else. So the first one is, I also feel it that we are missing a little bit due to external reasons, connection to the exchange students. So as you were talking, it was kind of the essential part of your like exchange experience and the connection to ESN, and what brought you kind of where you're standing here today. So do you maybe have an idea how can we improve this?
Are you asking about the exchange students that are coming to Muni, or Muni exchange students that are coming back?
No, the exchange students who are coming to us.
Are Erasmus students?
Yes.
Okay, so you think we are losing touch with them a little bit? I think one of the reasons for this might be that we are a really big section. So it's not really easy to keep in touch with them as much as we would like to. But I don't know how you see it from the president's agenda. But for example, during country presentations, I think there is no such a problem. It's all working well. I'm sometimes like impressed, like Eva is just walking around and talking with everybody and she's like showing me this is that and this is that and I don't know. So yeah, and I think generally we can't do much about approaching that many Erasmus students. The only way for us is to attend as many events as we could and try to talk with them and so on and so on.
Thank you. um, okay, I know. So you were talking about now the students who are Erasmus alumni. You understand, like the point. So what would you point out to these students that is like most important, like the biggest reason why they should join ESN? Because it's very different. On Erasmus, they are kind of on a holiday, let's say, but here they're as volunteers. They are supposed to do some work. So, like, what is the biggest motivation that you would use?
Well, for me, it would be I haven't achieved it as much as I would want to, but if I were to tell them, the biggest advantage is that they can keep on with their friendships with people from abroad. Because I think for those of us that were on Erasmus, that was the most valuable thing that we could have like gotten and so on. So I think I would point out that, and also probably point out that they can enjoy events as they did during their Erasmus. Maybe they will help with something, but it's still they can enjoy and they can be in the international community and so on, like practice their languages that they learned on Erasmus.
Thank you. And the last one, this one might be a little bit harder. So the first one is there something that you would like to change about the members meeting they are like done at the moment? And this like second part is about the active membership. So I'm not sure if you are familiar with the way it was before. However, how do you find it the way it is now? Do you like approve it, or do you feel like there need to be still some changes or some slight slightly, yeah.
So regarding the members meetings, the answer is simple: no. I don't have any ideas in mind how to improve. I think the members meetings are done very well. And regarding the second question, what was second question?
Active membership. So do you think there's something needed to change?
Okay, well, what I value most about the new active membership platform is that it's for a year, not just for 6 months. Since 6 months is really short time. Second thing I value is that now it can be done by a questionnaire, not by a paper and signed and so on, so on. So I think that gives our members, when you give people something that is easier, they are more willing to do it. So I think that's nice, and also it's a way more modern way. And if I want to change something, not really. I think I've talked about some discrepancy in my question round. I don't know if I should like repeat it or it's clear. Okay.
For a long question round and a beautiful presentation. So let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you very much.
And the last candidate for today is Eliška Pulhona for the communication manager.
Okay, so hello everyone. It was already mentioned, but I'm very glad that you came today. And I think the majority of you already know me, but there are also some people I haven't met yet. So my name is Eliška. I study journalism and media studies and security and strategic studies. And this is how excited I am about being an ESN member. And yeah, I really like animals. I used to volunteer at the dog shelter in Prague. And also I am vegan. And I always try to do things that helps animals. And I really like music. When I was little, I used to sing a lot, but now I do it just when I'm alone because other people don't like it as much as I do. And also, fun fact about me is that I really like tattoos, but I don't have any because I'm very afraid of the first one, and also because my parents don't like tattoos very much, so I respect it, and that's it. Yeah, so I hope Betty won't hate me, but she looks really good in this picture. And yeah, this slide is about my ESN experience. So the last 2 semesters, I was a social media coordinator in Sarah's team. So I could see a little bit of behind the scenes of what it's like being communication manager, and I also did a little bit of the agenda. I helped with it. So I already have some experiences, and I know what works and what don't, so what doesn't. And I also helped with some things that aren't connected to PR, but for example, me and Betty, we were heads of decorations of on both party. But I think it helped me to understand what is behind our events, because there is a lot of work behind it, and there are so many amazing people who work on it. So because of that, I can understand it a little bit better. And also I experienced, oh no, I see Betty's face, but you look great. Okay, I experienced so many amazing events, 2 team buildings, international students ball, a boat party, tram party, weekly activities, and so on. And I really appreciate all the people there and the friendships that are the most important according to me. Yeah, and I think that actions speak louder than words. So if you were active the last 2 semesters, or if you follow us on social sites, you probably already seen some of posts that I created. So I just wanted to show it, and I'm always trying to be a little bit creative. Maybe it's awkward sometimes, but at least it's outstanding and fun. And now about my goals, I want to focus mainly on Instagram because I don't think that we must be very active on every platform trending now. And for me, it's very important to keep it updated and active so all Erasmus students can find the information there, but also see their photos with their friends, because people like to see other people and they like to read about their stories and stuff. Now we are also working on podcast, which is a long-term project, but we are still working on it. And for those of you who haven't heard anything about it yet, it is basically about studying abroad, about ESN, Erasmus, youth mobility, and topics like that. So I want to keep with this. And then there's also LinkedIn. I think that Vali mentioned it, or maybe, yeah, and thank you. So we want to keep it updated, and according to me, it would be amazing if we can do monthly reports or something like that. So I hope we will do it. And the last thing is blog. Last semester, we found out that that promoted articles had about 700 or 800 views, which is very great according to me. So I want to have blog team and run the blog. So hopefully we will have blog team. Yeah, and basically we are all in this together. So I want to very focus on cooperation with other sections, especially Brno United. And I also really want to co-work with other board members, and I want to have teams, because it's great when you have someone who can, help with it and stuff like that. And there are some other great photos from events that I attended, and I wanted to include them because there are so many of you and you are amazing people. So I wanted to show that, and that's probably it from me. So thank you so much for your attention, and yes, that's it.
Again, we have another question round in front of us. So are there any questions for Eliška? Okay, so Fusky, Peťa, and Verča.
Thank you. One more question. There was always personal invite from my side to other sections who had beautiful videos from their events. Beauty. So do you think it's important to have like this kind of promotion, which is showing maybe events or what's going on in the section, and promote it, like maybe also with cooperation with the Center of International Cooperation, or like basically presentation of Erasmus in ESN Muni.
So now, are you talking about videos or?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen some videos of other sections
Yes,
or maybe
yes,
which
I
we
did,
had
yeah.
before. But like, do you think it's important to have this kind of promotion videos from these events? And if yes, like, would you like to work on this in the future?
So first of all, thank you so much for your question. And now, I think that today's social medias are all about videos, especially short videos. So I would like to create some reels and IG shorts and stuff like that. I'm not really sure about longer videos, but I definitely want to promote our actions and events with short videos like Instagram reels.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. You were talking about like wanting teams and people you can work with, but I would like to ask you about like your team management skills and maybe how would you motivate people to join your teams to help you with.
Okay, so again, thank you so much for your question. So the motivation, that's kind of tricky thing because I think that people should have their own motivation because when you give them some other kind of motivation, it wouldn't work that well, according to me. So I definitely want to tell them that it's great to be active and show them some good parts about it. For example, the feeling that you do something beneficial and meaningful and that you can actually help our section. But I think that the most important thing is that they want to do it. Yeah. So I hope I learn something from Sarah because I was at her team, so I could see how she's doing it, and also I could see what was good for me as a coordinator or supporter. So I have experience from the coordinator point of view. So maybe now I can be a good leader because I know what it's like being on the other side.
Okay, hello. Thank you for your candidacy and for the presentation. And you mentioned LinkedIn as one of the social media. And in your candidacy, you wrote that you would like to put some reports there. And I'm curious, why do you think that LinkedIn is important part, or why our section actually needs LinkedIn, and who is the target group there?
Thank you for your question. I think it's good to have also some more, let's say, official platform. Also because we work with partners and we have a big budget and we work with a lot of money. So I think it's good to present us also in another way than just photos from parties and stuff like that, but also to have it's good to have place where we can write like, oh, we did this, and show there some things that we succeed in. Thank you. You're welcome.
So I have one question, which is a little bit like the one that I actually asked in the question round, but I think that it's important because I'm not sure if I heard that you're actually candidating only for one semester. So this is, in a certain sense, quite the short period of time. So how do you want to ensure that your work that you put into it for one semester stays here, like stays and is continued?
So thank you for your question. I'm sorry, but I forget to mention it. So it is important thing, yeah. I candidate only for 1 semester, and I will try to do as much work as possible, even in this shorter time. And I hope I will have someone in my team who will, like work with me. For example, as I work with Sarah, or as some worked with Sarah, because it wasn't just me, these 2 last semesters. And I hope I can just like show them what I'm doing and kind of prepare them for that, so the transition would be smooth. And that's like my plan, but I hope there will be someone who is interested in it.
Questions? No questions? So I propose to close the speakers list. Any objections? I was supposed to say that every time, right? I'm sorry, I just realized it. But I hope you had no objections till now. So I'm closing the speakers list. And yeah.
Okay, so the next candidacy is thank you, Eliška. I'm sorry, I was prepared to. Thank you for your presentation. And the next. Okay, the next part is the candidacy for the audit committee. So I would like to welcome Aja, Marianka, and Vercha for their presentation.
Hello. Wait, can I use it? Okay. So hello, we are here to present our candidacy for the audit committee for the next year. And since we prepared the candidacies together, we also prepared one presentation together. So the goals are the same, but we're different people, so we'll have a different beginning. But then you'll see. Okay, who are we? My name is Adela, or some of you know me also as Horte. I'm studying environmental studies, the same as Vale. So I'm also finishing right now, but I'm studying a second bachelor, so I'm not that young anymore, unfortunately. Apart from that, I'm also doing a lot of random things, like also working at the Center for International Cooperation. And I love learning new things and doing some random stuff. So if you come to me with some random idea, I'm probably up for it. I also like to write the slides, as you can see on the photo. And as a true ESNer, I have to say that I love traveling, especially if I can meet some other ESNers on the way as well, and hang out with my friends. Regarding my ESN career, let's say, I'm here for quite some time already, so I joined in autumn 2018. Then I went for Erasmus, and when I came back, I was like, well, let's do this a bit more. So I tried quite a lot of things over the years. I was the vice president and the president, and this year the audit committee member. And I also helped in like some random events that I liked, like the Erasmus Festival, Na Brno Dobrý, NA Zubří, and some other stuff. And apart from that, I'm also the member of the International Committee for Education, where I'm leading the team for the European universities. So as you can see, I had a lot of time to gain a lot of knowledge and experience, and I still feel like I can give back to the section, because now I don't need to gain from it, but I can give back. So, yeah.
Hey, me again. So my name is Marianka, if you didn't realize till now, because I'm not sure if I introduced me actually. So I'm sorry for that if I haven't. So yeah, like about me as besides ESN, I'm actually a student and I'm studying South Slavonic and Balkan studies, and I hope that I will finish one day. If so, I will let you know. There's going to be a big party. And yeah, well, that is closely connected to the fact that I am very lively and extroverted, and also very random and very creative. So I really like details. Yeah, I'm a big detailist, and yeah, I love cool random details. And like for example, today's voting devices. They're real cute, right? So
I'm also very enthusiastic. I hope that you have seen it throughout your ESN experience that I have the energy inside of me. And yeah, and I also do acro yoga together with some lovely people in this room. Ew. So, okay, so we are acro yoga crew here actually. So, I joined ESN in spring 2020, and yeah, it was a COVID year. It was great, like the first month, or not even a month, and then a COVID stroke. So I had the opportunity to actually meet first the people and then the events. So I met the whole Brno United crew, and it was really amazing, even though it was illegal kind of to meet at the time. But after that, I was a sports coordinator and then applied, and then I was an events manager, an agenda which is really close to my heart, and I'm sad to not to see any succeeder. And then I became a president, which I still am, and finishing in a month. And I kind of didn't want to finish, so that's why I'm standing here, and I also want to give back to the section. And yes, okay, I will go back to all the things I've done. Like in this 2-year career, I did also like lots of random projects because I love also like big impactful things. I love that, so I did like some, I don't know, postcard exchanges, and like I like international stuff and like international corporations and also other corporations. But also I was part of the similar OSIS as Adja, and also of the International Students Ball. And yeah, so my motivation to become an audit committee member is that I have been here for the past 3 years, 3 years already, and it was a very transitioning time. So it was from normal times to COVID times, back to like post-COVID times, and lots of things have changed in the meantime. And I believe that I have the knowledge to help our next generation make our section the best possible.
Thank you, Marianka. And
okay, yeah. So that was the point, that I also have connections with like past board members. So yeah, that is also like knowledge transition, you know.
No, thank you, Marianka. Hopefully, yes. Okay, good evening. My name is Veronica, and well, if I should say some things that define what I do, it would be media literacy, non-formal education, and international environment, because I'm somehow mixing these 3 things all together. I studied journalism and political science, and now I'm finishing information and library sciences. And basically I do a lot of workshops, lectures, teaching, and so on. I teach at university. I teach a course which is for Erasmus students. So as I said, I somehow combine all these things like teaching, learning, Erasmus people. I do a lot of Erasmus Plus projects. I sometimes work for Dům zahraniční spolupráce, which is the national agency, which also works somehow with ESN, and I love how all of that is connected. And I'm running my own NGO, which is also connected to non-formal education and media literacy. I'm the president of that organization for 3 years, so I have some experience with finances, with reports, with grants, and with all of these kind of administration, which could be useful for being in audit committee. And when it comes to ESN, I've been a member since 2018. I was in board in 2019 as local representative, which is the position which is no longer in the section, but it was really great position. And even though it's been a while, I'm still somehow around. This year I was on Educate, which is an event for trainers and for lecturers. So I also want to connect that, my connection with non-formal education with ESN. So thanks to Educate, I organized some events also here in the section for some nonviolent communication workshop and mental health workshop. And I still want to continue with some workshops for board members, active members, and maybe also Erasmus students. And yeah, I'm around with random stuff, same as girls, acro yoga, international students ball, and some other things.
Okay, and now the together part. Wait, okay. So we, I didn't know that this is happening. So we divided our goals into 4 main categories. And the first one is the statutes. So we would like to firstly see that everything is finished. So the standing orders, the English translation and stuff like that. And also that the new statutes are well implemented, especially in connection with the new membership. So yeah, that's the first point.
Then we also want to oversee all the activities done and make sure that causes of ESN are represented in our activities and are represented in the right way. With the activities, we really believe that it's important to still focus on the exchange students and to give them the best exchange possible. So we want to oversee that, and we believe that transparency is very important, so that board should be transparent, and not only the audit committee, but also the members and the section should see and kind of as well oversee what the board is doing. So things like minutes should be done strictly, I would say.
Thank you. And last but not least, you all approved the budget proposal for next year, and we want to make sure that we feel committed to oversee that budget and also oversee the financial stability of the section. And most importantly,
Being 3, 2, 1. Being experienced and supportive mamas.
Okay. It works? Yes. Okay. So thank you girls for your candidacy, and now it's time for the question round. So I would like to open the speakers list and ask you if somebody has any questions. Okay, Sonia, Fuski. Okay, so first Sonia.
Okay, girls, thank you very much for your presentation. And this last thing you said that you want to be supportive mamas and that you are experienced. And during the question round, you were asked what advice would you give to new board? And you already answered that, so I would like to turn the question around a little bit and ask you if there is one thing in particular that you would avoid if you were doing your board thing again and so on. And if there's no particular one, then maybe generally something. I'm sorry.
Okay, from my point of view, I think I would focus a bit more on the mental health and on me. So not taking, not saying yes to everything, let's say. Because sometimes it was too much. I managed and I don't, what's the word? Regret it, yes. But sometimes I think it's better to focus more on myself and to have the balance in those things.
Thank you.
Okay, mine will be very similar. So last year when I was candidating for a president's position, my presentation was very different from Vali's. And it was very visible that I am a overachiever, like a big one. So fortunately, like my insight changed quickly, so I was able to adapt it to a certain level. However, I wish that I could still, not try to do everything always and maybe be a little bit more open to not doing everything.
And I think my answer would be a little bit different. I think that I would see board members as balanced in the whole or with the same rights. Because I think that in our board, most of us were like, how to say, like not really standing on what we wanted. We felt like there is one person who was more experienced than we were, and that's why sometimes we were just like saying yes, even though we maybe had different opinion. So if I would do it again, I would maybe be more I would maybe more stand on my needs and on my opinions. But on the other hand, I know it now and I didn't know it before, and I had to go through that experience to get it. So I'm answering that because like now I know, but I think I wouldn't make it differently because I wouldn't know it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello, long time no see. Thank you, girls, for presentation. I think your new favorite word is random, so maybe I'll give you a bit a random question. Okay, so if all of the presented people will be elected, including you, and no man will join later on, the whole group of you will be women. Yay! So do you think it can have some effect on the work or anything, on the leadership? Or thank you.
Well, I believe that in our section, this is kind of a trend that no, not that we have like full women boards and audit committees. However, we had majority of women always in our section. So it is kind of nothing as new, but still I believe that it is good to have other perspective present. Yeah, but I think that like these women are very capable, and yeah, I don't want to be like kind of weird feminist, like go women or something, because I want you guys, anyone, to join them. But I think that like I believe that it's more important the skills and the people and their like personality than their gender in any way.
I actually wanted to say something really similar because it's not something that you can force. And yeah, I guess it's better to have a balance in the gender, but here in our section it's really a trend that there are mostly women in the board or in some other positions. But I think there are still like a lot of other positions as coordinators or supporters that were kind of balanced, I would say. So I think in this sense the other part can be brought. I'm not sure how to say this, like formulated. Well, yeah.
I want to put it into more informal way because you asked about the effect, and I guess that the effect would be that the periods would be synchronized. That's the main effect, yeah. But when it comes to this gender balance, I believe that like everyone has this feminine and masculine energy, especially when a girl go as a candidate to such a position. There is of course some part of masculine energy as well, and I believe that meaning that you know, like, okay, I'm not going through that, but I believe that it's good to have of course some male people in board as well because of the diversity. But I believe that the overall diversity, such as maybe different nations as well, would be welcome, because it would be good if board would be really pressured to speak English all the time and so on. So I believe that all diversity is welcome, and especially I want to motivate you guys to candidate for the next open call, because I believe that you will be treated very well, since it's kind of the rarity to have more guys, more men in board. And I mean, from my experience, we had one man in board, and we treated him very well, and he really enjoyed that. So please go for it. Any other?
Great motivation.
I have a boring questions. I'm sorry. Is this working? Because I don't hear myself. No. Whatever, I will just yell if it doesn't work. I have one question for Veronica specifically. I know that this position is reactive, so you really cannot bring like changes that much. But what do you like about your NGO that you don't see here in ESN Munibrno that you would like to see?
Well, thank you. That's a tough question because sometimes I think the other way, like what I like about ESN and what I miss in my NGO. Because my NGO is very specific. I would say that we are a group of people who are experts on a certain topic. We are experts on disinformation, digital literacy, digital safety, and so on. And that's why we, let's say, can go deeper in some topics. On the other hand, that's why we don't have that many people, because there are not that many people who are interested in that topic. And maybe that's something I sometimes miss in ESN, that we cannot go that much deeper. But on the other hand, I love it about ESN as well because of the diversity and many opinions on things. So for me, it's really hard to compare it because aim of each of these organization is very different. And that's why like almost all of it is different.
Thank you. And I have a second question, if I can. This is for everyone, but also just one of you can answer. The last point in your presentation was that you want to be supportive mamas. This promise of support was kind of seen in every presentation of every audit committee on all levels that I have seen. But it's like kind of too general statement, and I would like to maybe hear some specific examples of how you want to support, especially this incomplete board from the start.
I would like to start with stating that I have experienced 2 different audit committees with very, very different approach. And I also like gained some experience from it. And I think that we actually found the support in our audit committee last year. So that is kind of something that we as a whole at the moment want to continue on. And mostly, I think that this support is not that much in like audit committee's agenda, and we do not mean it this way. However, we want to be here as experienced ESNers who are here to help and with anything, anytime. And we don't want to be like some kind of reactive body over there who you can approach only when you are kind of scared that you screwed up with your general assembly or something. So I would put it this way.
Yeah, I would just add that, especially in my case, I was thinking a lot before running for that position, like what can I offer? And I was thinking again about non-formal education and these experiences, what I have. And if I imagine support, it can be also like just supporting or facilitating some meeting for board where they need to solve something, for example, if they would have some conflict or something like that, because I have some experience with conflict management and nonviolent communication and so on. And we actually already discussed with Marianka that I would be involved in the board transition as part of it for facilitation. We still need to discuss details, but this is like one of the way how to support board as well, to be there with our knowledge, not just knowledge about ESN, but also with some our skills which we can provide it. But what I need to stress is that we want to be there only if they want us. In that supportive way. Like we cannot be there like, hey, we really want to support you, so listen to us. I mean, we are here, we can say it very often, so they really know that we are here, but it's about their decision at the end.
Thanks for both of your answers, if Adela don't want to say. Okay.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? If not, I'm proposing to close the speakers list. Is anyone against?
Okay, so thank you for your presentation and thank you for your answers, girls.
Okay, don't mind the
Okay.
presentation. It's kind of messy. So, oh wait, no. I don't know. Okay, really, don't mind the presentation. So, right now, there is a time for secret voting. So, please, again, electoral committee is going to come, give you out the envelopes. Please do not tape the envelopes, okay? So that they don't need to like rip them apart, because we want to be sustainable and use them again. They were actually used last elections. So, please do not tape the envelopes, and again, you already know how to vote. And after that, we are going to have a 15-minute break. I am afraid that most of the food is already eaten, but we can at least bring you some more drinks from the office, and after that, we'll come back for the results. Edo, s ním se něco děje? Aha, okay. So guys, please take a seat, and the last part, the most exciting one, is in front of us. It is going to be really only a few minutes, so please give us your attention. Sit down. I hope that all of us is here. No quorum check is happening. However, I believe that all of you are interested in results. So I would like to, for the last time, invite our audit committee. Sorry, electoral committee. And they will give us the answers we all desire.
There's never enough of position in ESN, right? Okay, I would like to start by saying people always make fun of us really specifically telling you to circle. Well, it happened again, one vote is invalid. So one voter, so every one of you have one invalid vote because they didn't circle it. But there was some like bad news from the beginning. Let's continue with some good news. So we have the result announcement. The first person that we will announce is, like you can, okay, this is needed to be elected, okay? Is the treasurer. So the result is, yay! Erichka was elected. Congratulations. The second person was Sonichka. And the result is, she was also elected. Congratulations as well. The third person to the local board was Eliška. And she was also elected. Congratulations. Do you want to do the audit committee and we can switch?
Okay. So I will present the votings of the audit committee. So yeah, we're at the voting and she was elected. Oh, so the second person for audit committee was who it was? Marianka or oh, and Marianka was elected. And the first person should be Vercha, and she was also elected. So congratulations to a new board and the audit committee.
Congratulations! One last woo! So thank you, electoral committee, for doing all the work with all the counting. And now here you can see already in beautiful graphics the new board and the new audit committee for 2023. So as you also can see, we have 3 vacant positions for the new board, and very soon probably there are going to be there's going to be an open call. So yeah, think about it. So once again, yeah, congratulations. And wait, I will just check. Okay, so congratulations, we congratulated, and we will congratulate more throughout the evening. However, before that, I would like to thank you all for coming. And before that, so you can see that there was a little bit of chaos today, but what I wanted to start it with, I will end today's evening with, is that yesterday was a International Volunteers Day. So I think that this is a really big kind of holiday for all of us, because all of us are volunteers, and it is very nice that also from like this perspective our work is valued. And I would like to thank all of you for choosing to spend your free time in a meaningful way, and I think that is like really beautiful. And then especially I would like to again say thank you for all the guests from other sections. So we have also Attila here from ESN Mendelo, and and our electoral committee. And then what is really precious is that we had, in a certain time, we had 3 out of 6 national board members here in this room with us. And that is very lovely. Okay, point is that they live in Brno. However, they still made a time and came to our General Assembly, and we really value that. So thank you, Janko and Petja. And yes, so Vetja already left from the international office. And otherwise, now is the time to thank you, our board 2022. So it is our last kind of official event. So we really did lots and lots of work, and we were a great team. So thank you for all the time spent together, and yeah, we'll have crying sessions later. So, but I think that the board 2022 needs another round of applause at the moment. So, so now a little bit of organizational stuff. We want to take a photo with all of us because it is so lovely that we have gathered in such a big number. So we will have a photo at the stairs. So here, right at the stairs, just like choose your spot, and our lovely photographer is going to take a picture of us, and probably we will maybe ask Attila to take the picture of us. Would it be okay? No, it's just like clicking, 1 click, that's enough. Okay, and please stay seated. After that, because of course we need to celebrate and new board members need their champagne, so we will have some champagne in the office. Probably all of you have been there. It's like 3 stairs downstairs in the basement in our beautiful office. So there's going to be some champagne, so don't leave, go there. And afterwards, there's going to be more fun. So we are heading to East Village Bar, which is kind of right behind this building. It's like really 3.5-minute walk, so not too far away. We will go there together, so I hope that you will join us and have the opportunity to talk to board members of 2022 and 2023, also the audit committees and national board members and other members of other sections, so all the cool people. And so yes, I hope that this wasn't too exhausting for all of you and that you have the energy to do this part of the agenda. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do something like official closing, but if so, one last time, thank you for attending today's General Assembly, and I'm closing it. So photo time!